powered by Malta. And UDP means Youth Development Program.
Arsenal Saka, Manchester City's Foden, and even Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies all became the great players they are today thanks to what they did in the academy of yesteryear. An issue that has been a big topic of debate, especially highlighted by a certain result in Turkey for the U18s of Jamaica, is that basically our youth development in the country. It's been something that's been discussed ad nauseum basically every year for some time now, especially after repeated failures of the Jamaican national team to make U17s and U20 World Cups. So the question I always asks, what is the JFF at large is doing about it? To give credit where credit is due, one of the men at the technical chair up at the JFF, Mr. Rudolph Speed, has been in the YouTube verse as of late, or for some time now, and speaking about the fact that he wants to launch a under-17 JPL basically. So an under-17 football league for our youngsters. And if you know JPL, I've been advocating for the return of the U21 football league amongst the clubs, but instead of being, U21, make it be U19. So getting a U17 is even better. I'm all for it. Well, it seems that time has come, and officially, and as of yesterday, the official under-17 development program, sponsored by Malta, was launched yesterday at the UE JFF Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence. Basically, it's a pilot competition that will be held by 4 teams, and the whole purpose of it is to develop the technical skills and abilities of elite youth footballers in Jamaica, build and strengthen local capacity for elite youth coaches via continuing football education, as well as increase awareness and build loyalty towards your local partner brands. They even went further to name the 4 teams involved, and these are Arne Guns FC, Harbour View FC, Palmer United FC, and Waters FC. So, of course, if you were listening to Rudolph Speed, been speaking about this for some time, he did state that it was going to be mandatory for all 14 JPL clubs to be involved. So how did we exactly went from 14 to 4? So the best person to ask this from is, of course, the CEO, Mr. Owen Hill of the PFJL. And this is what he had to say.
How were the 4 teams selected? They were randomly selected. So all 14 teams were put in a pot, just like how they do it at the national level, at the regional level, at the international level. All 14 teams were put in a pot and they were randomly selected because we really wanted to start with a pilot. Again, we know the realities. We know that not all clubs would be ready. And luckily for us, the 4 clubs that were selected were ready. They have strong youth programs currently existing. So it was an easy merge up to assimilate those 4 clubs in this pilot program.
So that's all well and good, but with so many youth academies popping up all over the country as of late, as well as one very famous one being the elephant in the room, so would these academies also eventually be invited? Here's Owen Hill again.
Personally, I know of the work of the academies and I've seen it. So the short answer is yes, they will be a part of the conversation. The other answer is there are some legal frameworks that the academies will need to undertake. There's an academic policy that is currently being piloted as well through the JFF. So I suspect once those legal parameters are, adhered to, the conversation will definitely go into that direction.
So okay, we get it. So we only have 4 teams for now, but of course it's only 4 teams. So how exactly we have a league over 3 months work with so little amount? Well, it's simple really. It's not quite a league yet. The program will run for the next 3 months starting at May 25, and along with sessions to address technical abilities of players, player management, and club administration, the players will compete in one-day mini tournaments that are held on May 25th, June 29, and July 27, all at the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence. So I was trying to get some word, because I was not invited to this press launch. I was trying to, message on Instagram as well as emails to find out, will regular spectators be allowed? Listen for a further update on that. So it all sounds good. I always want a reserve league or a youth league like U19 or akin to what's going on in England to help better develop our players. A lot of our JPL clubs actually have many decent youth programs going on and a lot of youth players on their books waiting to play, but that's just the thing. Many of them just sit down outside schoolboy football and not doing much, because all these clubs are like Cavalier, that basically their bread and butter is to play majority of the youths in their senior team. So this will give them something to keep honing their skills for when their time comes that they're called upon by the senior JPL club, or even go further for the U17s, U20s, as well as senior national team programs. So big thumbs up to the PFJL and Rudolph Speed and everybody's involved. Yes, even you, Malta, getting this thing on the way. And this is despite my personal disappointment that it's only 4 teams, and out of those 4 teams, Cavalier and Mount Pleasant, despite even announcing a friendly amongst themselves, were not selected. But they still states a program. They want to make sure all the kinks are ironed out, and then hopefully we have all 14 teams come next year as this thing get bigger and better. But anyway, one more tidbit before I go. As you can see in this picture of the pamphlet, there are heavy emphasis on the coaches requiring B licensing education, as well as a training ground, as well as this will provide a training ground for the club's marketing departments. So this is not just development for youth players, it's development for up and rising coaches, as well as modernizing the club's administrative staffs. I'm desperate to see this thing kick off on May 25th. I'm hoping it's absolutely successful, as it might be pivotal in the development of youth football here in the country. And hopefully if it gets bigger, it expands further, like a U13 as well as a U9. So we just keep up the rise and increase the level and get better, so we can eventually fulfill our potential as a footballing nation. But anyway guys, that is all I got here from JPL Fun today. I'm just giving you a little insight of what's going on with this rumored U17 tournament, as well as I look into what the officials are doing to help with youth development in the country. But thank you for watching, and of course if you're new here, please remember to like, subscribe and share. I would truly appreciate it. And for anything else on the Jamaican Premier League, especially that preview of the semi-final leg 2 that is coming up tomorrow, keep it locked right here at JPL Fan. YouTube, big up on yourself.
We know where the gaps are. I can definitely say that we have seen improvements at the club level. We keep raising the bar, but we know where we need to go. So with the help of yourself, Neville, Andrew Peart, Miguel Cole, different individuals who would have done it at the very highest level, we need that knowledge sharing. We need that kind of information flow to our different clubs and stakeholder groups. So